Going live. Oh, we're waiting to go live. There we are. We're live. Hello, awesome people. I decided it was time to start a vlog. Here we are, starting a vlog, and I've been looking for a theme for this vlog, and I hope you're going to join me on this journey. Not blog, vlog, but vlog. I'm going to get used to it. God. Anyway, here we are, and I downloaded this little countdown app the other day because I thought it was time I had to. Can you see that? There it is. Thought it was time I should check in, and I'm getting older. I'm feeling, thought I'd just check in, see how many days it was until I turned 50. Oh my god, I'm going to be 50 in. Are you ready for it? 934 days. That's 934 days. I'm going to be 50. And as most people do when they are coming to midlife crisis kind of thing. I don't want to call it a midlife crisis because it's not really a midlife crisis. I think I've already had one of those a few years ago. But I'm coming to a point in my life where it's just like, yeah, you start to take stock of things. And because I am a trainer and I'm a physical person, I do martial arts and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of things that I used to be able to do that I can't do now because I have allowed my body to, as I sit here in this hunched over position, I've allowed my body to. I don't want to use the term "get out of shape," but I've lost a lot of my flexibility, and a lot of that has to do with not just the everyday stuff that goes on in life, poor posture, stress, having to do things like that kind of stuff. But I played rugby for a few years that left me with a back injury, which gave me a little bit of limited range of motion, and I let that get worse rather than doing the hard work. Like I say to all my clients all the time, you got to do the hard work. But rather than continuing to do that, I've let it get worse. And, with other things like, I broke my finger a few years ago, and that kind of left me with a bit of a sore shoulder, that kind of stuff in the way I use my hands with massage. So anyway, long story short, I have 934 days to get my body in the type of shape that I want it to be for the rest of my life. Don't mistake what I'm saying there, for I'm going to put my life on pause between now and then. But what I have done is set out some really clear goals for myself so that when I do hit that 50 mark, I can sit there and really look forward to, in inverted commas, growing older or moving into that next transition phase of my life with a body that I'm going to feel amazing in rather than a body that I feel doesn't work for me the way I want it to. So I want to regain a lot of my flexibility and range of motion. That's one of the things I'm working on at the moment. And it's one of the things it's one of the limiting factors in in stopping me from doing the things that I really love to do. As a martial artist, I love doing a lot of the kicks that I've done. And I used to be able to kick quite, I used to be very flexible. I used to be able to do a full split. These days I'm far from it. So I am endeavoring to increase my range of motion, not just in my thoracic spine, which is I'm terribly inflexible in my thoracic spine, and I've let myself get away with it for a long time. So we're going to move with that, and also my hips and that kind of stuff. And it comes through a certain amount of disconnect in the area from having medical procedures done. It comes from poor posture when sitting in front of the computer doing work for hours at a time, sitting at poor work. I mean, even here, this setup that I've got here, it probably isn't the best, but it's I keep it like this because it makes me change posture throughout the day whenever I am actually having to get up, and it forces me to get up and move around, so rather than sit here in the same posture every day when I'm sitting in the office doing office work. So that's just one thing that I do. Rather than sitting down having a desk, we changed position because I found that when I was sitting at the desk just getting in and doing my paperwork and that kind of stuff, I would sit there for like 3 or 4 hours and never move, and that gives me a bad back. That gives me a sore back. It triggers my lower back injury, And then, if I have a day, just one day where I sit there for 4 hours straight, I'm slow to move. My muscles are slow to respond for the next 3 or 4 days until I can get everything back to working again. So anyway, that's a really long way around of saying increasing my range of motion and working on my flexibility is one way that I'm going to be able to get back to doing what it is that I want to do, particularly in the post-50 phase of my life. So there's things like, for example, doing my martial arts training. Martial arts is something I've been very passionate about for a really long time, and not being able to do things that I love doing is frustrating. And, to be honest, if I'm being completely honest, it's made me a little bit lazy. So I've got to stop being lazy. I'm going to get out and work on my flexibility so I can get my legs up and actually do those kicks that I really want to do. Working on the range of motion also helps, obviously, with other things that I really like doing, like rock climbing and that kind of stuff. Being able to get your legs into really weird, and move your hips and move with good active strength through different ranges of motion. And again, when I'm not feeling terribly flexible, my climbing suffers, and my happiness level suffers because I'm not doing things that I really want to do. So yeah, what I am planning on doing is being kind to myself, but setting the intention that every day I can, I'm going to sit down and do, at least 10 minutes of stretch work. We'll see what happens there. So far, yesterday I did one. Today we'll do another one. We'll put it up here. I do it over time lapse, so you don't have to sit there watch me breathing for 2 minutes and then meditating, that kind of stuff. But if you want to join me on the journey, that would be awesome. That's a bunch of fun. If you have questions, quandaries, or queries about anything that I'm doing that we're putting up here on the YouTube or in Facebook and that kind of stuff, please just get in contact. And we can talk about it. So that's where we're at. My journey to 50. Come and join me. We'll see what happens. I'm no doubt going to find out a few fun things along the way of this journey and seeing where that leads me and that kind of stuff. One of the things that comes along with working on your range of motion is getting into your body. And I mentioned meditation there and breathing, that kind of stuff. Getting into your body and feeling the tension so that you can get in contact with that tension and then learning to release it again. It's not just about this hard push through the stretch. Sometimes it's about the hard push through the stretch, but a lot of the time it is about learning to get in contact, breathing into it, and learning to release it. And along with that can come emotions, can come memories, can come triggers for different situations. So, we're probably going to go through that too. We'll see what happens. I've already hit a couple of things yesterday, which were interesting. I'm still processing them. We'll get through it. But a lot of it has to do with the stress and tension of what's going on at the moment. If you're watching this in the future, today is the 5th of May 2020, and we are in the middle of COVID-19 pandemic. And for me, from a business perspective, my business has been affected by the current pandemic, and it's stressful. So along with that, and my natural habit is to hold on to that stress. I sort of come from this relaxed open position to bring it down, taking my heart away from people. Trying to take my heart away from this situation because it's painful to think that I could lose my business when I have put so much of my heart and soul into building my business. And it is very much a part of me. So, that hurts emotionally and physically. And learning to feel into that and then learning to process it, to be able to let go of it, is a time-consuming process, but the best way we can do that is to learn to breathe, learn to sit in the muscles, learn to sit in the discomfort, and learn to try and connect with it, process it so that we can let it go. And another part of it is talking about it. So I'm going to talk about it. Might be a little bit of oversharing, might be a bit of undersharing too. We'll see how we go there. Set up some, we'll see how it goes. pushing my comfort levels on this one. So that's my journey. Come and join me. I'm gonna do at least one video a week. We'll see how it goes. If I go quiet on you, it's because I'm uncomfortable and ignoring something. Feel free to give me a poke and go, "Hey Joe, come on, you haven't posted a video in a week. Get moving." But we'll see what happens. I'm curious to see what happens on this journey. So I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you. We will see you all sometime soon. At least once a week, but maybe more. We'll see what happens. Bye.